Hello, it's David from Mochimochijapan. Today we are at the famous Tokyo Station. Right now, I'm about to do a challenge. I have 10 yen, or about 1,000 yen, which is $10, to spend here, but I have no idea how I'm gonna spend it because every place here is so expensive. But let's see what I can find and let's go.
Welcome to Tokyo Station. This is one of the most beautiful stations in all of Tokyo. It's the home to many historical monuments, such as the two towers located on each side of the station. The designs on the ceiling are so beautiful.
Okay, so here we are at the famous Nanboku Dome, and this place has a lot of history. In fact, 130 years ago, it was just like this. However, it was destroyed during an air raid, and they rebuilt it, but it was not, when they rebuilt it, it wasn't in this form. So about 20 years ago, they decided that they wanted to return it to its original shape, and that's what they did about 20 years ago. So now it's right here, just as it was about 130 years ago. So here we are at these big metal plates here, and this is the history of the Tokyo Station. And as you can see, there's pictures here, and you can honestly, like, my first impression of this was that the form of Tokyo Station was actually very, very similar to what it is now, except that there wasn't the domes.
Tokyo Station is like the gateway to Tokyo, being that it has one of the biggest stops on the Shinkansen, or the bullet train that leads all over Japan, including places like Kyoto and Osaka.
So there's one thing that I found really, really interesting about this building, and that is the structure actually is made to prevent against earthquakes. So there's earthquakes, there's a lot of earthquakes here in Japan, and the structure of this building is made to prevent against earthquakes.
Next, we went to check out the other tower, which has some special features that the first tower didn't have.
So here we are at the second Nanboku Dome, and one of the things that is really, really interesting is that people come here from all over Japan on field trips from their schools. So people come here to learn about the history and all of the things associated with Tokyo Station. So we just found this really, really interesting exhibit that they're running here about the rail stations of Japan. However, there's one thing that I did notice, and that is that the price to enter is 1,400 yen, which is above our budget, so we can't go.
Next, we went to take a look around the outskirts of the station. There was art scattered all over the area, such as this bear. The way the tail was poking out I thought was so cute, and I honestly could not help myself, but I had to do the bear's pose in the video. We also found a spot to take a photo.
So we just got out of Maruzen, which is one of the most famous bookstores in this area, and this bookstore has absolutely everything. It is so huge. I mean, we didn't go to all the floors, but it's literally massive, and I've never seen a bookstore in Tokyo that is this big. Seriously.
Personally, I use Maruzen a lot when I was studying Japanese in Japan.
So we just found this amazing, amazing coin locker. And they have these coin lockers all over Japan where you can just put your stuff in and you can pay money and you could just have it in a box instead of taking it to your hotel room. However, this coin locker has a really, really cute design on it that I thought was really, really funny and really, really interesting. And you don't see these very much in abroad, in America or Europe or whatever. So very, very, very interesting. Okay, so we're here at Tokyo Station, and one of the things that I really noticed about this place is that there was a lot of office buildings here. So people come here to work and to eat, and prices are a little bit expensive and things are expensive, but it's a really, really good neighborhood, and it also reminds me a little bit of where I went to college in New York City. So I would really recommend that you come here if you have the time and if you're in the area.
While it might look like you might have to walk all the way around to the other side to get there, there's actually a path that leads directly through the station for easy access. After we looked at the gate, we went to buy some onigiri, which are Japanese rice balls, at the supermarket, and then we went to go look at street art.
So I just bought 2 rice balls from Japan, from Tokyo Station, And we're gonna go to the park right now and eat them.
Personally, one of my favorite places around Tokyo Station is Marunouchi Nakadori, which is a street that's lined with cafes and shops and almost reminds me of Europe. There are so many luxury stores in this area, which makes sense because there are a lot of Japanese salarymen that work here. As we were walking around, we found a stand on the street that was selling all sorts of famous foods from around Japan. Also, we found some statues of some street art that reminded me from Terminator 2 back in the day. Personally, I had no idea what this was supposed to mean. Apparently there are some hidden messages behind all this art, but depending on the art, it was hard to figure out. This sports athlete statue was really interesting.
So we just passed through Marunouchi Street, and this is a very pretty street that's right near Tokyo Station. But unfortunately, it's filled with high-class shops like Brooks Brothers, Burberry, all these places. So my 500 yen might not be enough to buy something from Burberry, so maybe next time.
After that, we sat down to eat the onigiri that we bought earlier. This park is a 10-minute walk from Tokyo Station and is recommended because there's a resting area with places to sit.
So we are here, and we just found this. This says in Japanese, this says Muryo Kyukeijo, which means Muryo means free, Kyukei means break, means place. So that means you can rest here and just take a break here for free. So we don't have to spend any money, and we can take a break.
After a little bit of a wait, we sat down to eat the onigiri. Honestly, onigiri is one of my favorite foods in Japan, and the reason why is because it's so cheap and is so filling. There are so many different types of flavors like shrimp, mayonnaise, and tuna, and honestly, they all taste really good, so I would recommend that you eat onigiri at least once when you come to Japan. Finally, we went to look at the Imperial Palace. This place is a must-visit for anyone who wants to know more about Japan and Japanese culture, and is one of the main reasons why I recommend this place to tourists. The palace is so spacious, and there are these huge gates that connect the outside to the inside. Next, we went to the famous Imperial Park, where there was bamboo forest with a very peaceful vibe. There were surprisingly not as many people as I would have imagined, so we were able to walk around and enjoy the temples without much disruption. Honestly, one of my favorite things to do is walk in the park. The reason why is because the leaves were turning and it was so beautiful. There was also all this old Japanese structures and all this Japanese buildings, which I really enjoyed.
So I just bought this lemon craft boss tea at the vending machine, and that means it's cost about 140 yen, which means I have about 330 yen left. So I was able to enjoy this area without even spending 1,000 yen. And that's crazy because this area is really expensive, but I was able to have so much fun anyway. So make sure when you come here, you don't have to spend any money, but it's really fun and amazing and an amazing place to visit. So thank you so much for watching until the very end. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.